All right, you tuned into another episode of the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. We got a special one tonight, Sam. Man, before we get to the guest, I'm your brother, Old God, representing Hip Hop News Uncensored. And as always, sitting across from me is my co-host.
What up, y'all? It's your man, Sam, and Viral Hip Hop News. Very, very excited, like Old God said, to be in the building on this Friday evening.
Yeah.
We got a special guest in the building. Peter Gunz is in the building in the podcast.
What up, man?
What up?
Peter Gunz, what's good, family?
Oh, man, thank you for having me, brothers. What's good, man? Everything's thing, man. Y'all being safe, family good, everybody good?
Chilling, yep.
Yeah, man, we good, man. We locked in. We got our own building. It's only us up in here, so we chilling. We locked down and able to do our thing. How's it where you at, man? Are you in New York right now?
Well, I'm in Dallas, but my whole family is there, and it's hectic there. I got a lot of friends and family members that caught the coronavirus. Some, some are doing well. My aunt, she passed away from it. She's like my aunt, she's one of the women that raised me on the block. We call all the older women auntie. So, yeah, so a few people that I know had a bad fight with it because it's, we on top of each other in New York, so it's hard to avoid it. But unfortunately for me, I'm out here in Dallas working. I'm safe. My kids are safe, and so far so good.
Dope.
So yeah, man, we'll I guess jump right into the interview and get started. I guess I want to know first, man. I guess we start how you got into rap. I mean, when did you start rapping? At what age? And what rappers inspired you to start rapping?
Well, it's funny you said that. I was damn, man. I reminded myself how old I was the other day. I grew up in the Bronx on 174th Street, Vice Avenue, same place where Grandmaster Caz, down the hill in Lambert was the Furious Five, and the Cold Crush Brothers was from my neighborhood. Almighty KG and Easy AD and them. So I used to hear the rumblings of these dudes. And the Cold Crush had a routine that went, well, it's 1981.
Mm-hmm.
So the Cold Crush had a routine that talked about 1981, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember 1981 being the first time I sat down and wrote a rhyme because of that routine. So I attribute that to being the first time I rapped, seeing the Cold Crush Brothers and them doing that routine.
Sweet.
Dope. I remember talking to some OGs who used to live in Brooklyn and stuff. And
I lost audio. Could y'all hear me?
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
I can't hear y'all. Shit, I don't know what happened. So, somebody called me and they fucked up the audio. Hold on, let me see if I can try to get it back.
Okay.
No doubt. But we here with Peter Gunz.
Yep. Can you hear us?
Shit, I don't know what happened with the audio. I hate that. When I'm on these calls, people call me and I tell them not to call me.
If he can't go in.
He can't come in. Yeah, we'll hit our publicist up and let.
I'm gonna come back in.
Here with Peter Gunz live. If you're listening live right here on Uncensored Truth podcast and the Hip Hop News Uncensored going in, man, hit the like button, man. We got an exclusive interview live, bringing it to you guys with the legendary Peter Gunz, man. This is a privilege. Our publicist got this set up last minute for us, so definitely excited, man.
Definitely excited, man. Can't wait to hear what the people are saying. Watching right now, we got Peter Gunz back in the building. Can you hear now?
That, man. Yo, anytime somebody calls me, it fucks the audio up.
Nah, it's all good, brother. We all good now. You can hear us?
Yeah. So I was basically the Cold Crush I was thinking about the other day. So 1981 would be when I officially wrote my first rhyme.
Word. Talk about living in the Bronx back then, man. I used to talk to some New York OGs, and they used to give me some of the wildest stories. I used to smoke and I used to listen and be like, damn, I want to write a movie on this shit. So I know you got some experiences, some stories. How was it living in the Bronx back then, growing up? How was your early life?
Early life was, if I look back at it now, it was rough. But growing up, I couldn't tell. You know what I mean?
Word.
I had a house full of brothers and sisters. My mom was there. My dad was there, but it was rough. It was, every building on the block was abandoned, burning down. People were burning down buildings to collect insurance money. And we was extremely poor. But I was the baby boy. And I guess they sheltered me from knowing how poor I was. So I grew up fun, man. We was, riding bikes, playing tag. We thought we was good. I never saw it. But when I look back and think about it, things was fucked up. Of course, I saw a lot of murder, a lot of people disappearing. And I think that's where my love for winter came. People were like, why you love winter so much? Because summers was rough. Like you lost a friend, you lost my father to shooting, murdering, friend. It was bad. So in the winter, it seemed like things calmed down. So I hated summers growing up in New York sometimes. So I was more partial to winter, except for riding the bikes and the block parties and shit. But for the most part, you knew you was gonna lose people in the summer. So that's why I grew fond of winter. But it was rough growing up in the Bronx, man. Good and bad. Good and bad. Like it's no condition that I can't take. Like even this situation right here, where probably is some suburban white kids somewhere that's losing their mind. I felt like I'm conditioned for any and anything from my upbringing.
Talk about the difference between Bronx then and Bronx now. Are there any similarities? Is it completely wild now? We hear a lot of wild stories being from the outside looking in. We're in South Jersey, so we hear more stories than somebody typically would living out the country. But how's the difference between the Bronx then and the Bronx now?
I think it was rough, way rougher when I was growing up. 70s was bad, 80s was crazy, early 90s was crazy. We used to call my block Compton because it was in the 90s it got crazy. I think now it's dangerous. It's less dangerous because cameras everywhere. Not that nobody won't pop off because of cameras, but you're more likely to get caught doing something now.
Right.
Between the rats and the cameras. But you could get fooled because it's camouflage. You can go in the Bronx now and be like, man, they fixing it up. You might find a Starbucks, the building's looking clean, but same type of mentality lies in those clean buildings. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I want to ask you about Lord Tariq. How did y'all meet up? Could you explain that whole process and what inspired y'all to start working together as well?
I was in this group called the Gun Runners, and people don't know this. It was like 7 to 8 of us, rappers. And we had this crew called the Gun Runners. We had the same plan as the Wu-Tang Clan. We're gonna all pop. We're gonna do this album. We did an EP. We're gonna do another EP. We're gonna do the album, and then we're gonna all branch off separately and do our own thing. Wu-Tang came and cleaned up our whole. It discouraged us. It discouraged the rest of the crew, not me and Tariq. But my sister came to me and said, "Yo, my boyfriend raps. He want to get down with you. He want to be down with the girl. He want to mess with you. He wants you to hear him rap." And everybody wanted to be a part of something that I already started. And I was like, yo, I don't know if there's any room for that, but whatever. He was coming by my mom's crib to see my sister. I was like, yo, my sister said you rap. Let me hear something. And turns out that he rapped better than everybody in the crew, including me. So I was like, you in, you know what I mean? And the rest was history. Now, Tariq and my sister are married, 2 grown kids. So people don't know that, they'd be like, how'd y'all break up? We never broke up. We family for life.
That's dope. I never knew that. That's real dope to hear. I wanted to hear talk about the process of Deja Vu. Obviously, that shit, I remember back in the day when I used to be a kid, that was #1 on MTV Jams, #1 on the box. That joint was historic. You had the Jerry Rivera sample. Talk about the process. Who produced the record? Was the record done before you had the lyrics? How did that work?
It was a weird thing. Tariq had played that beat a long time ago. I was just thinking about this a long time ago. He played a sample from somewhere for me, and I just ignored it. But my man called me to his crib, K&S. He's a good friend of mine. We grew up from kids, and he had that shit looped up. And he was like, yo, check this joint out. So I wrote it. I wrote a verse. I wrote 2 verses. And the second verse I wrote was better than my first verse. And to this day, I'm mad because I can't find it. Damn. But I wrote these 2 verses to the song, and I went to Tariq's house. I was like, yo, check this joint out. Remember that sample you played? Scratch found it and looped it and looked just joint. Tariq said, yo, you got to erase that second verse. I'm getting on that. So I put him on it. We went to the studio and we redid the hook. Now, the process of the song was crazy because it wasn't meant to be a hit. It was the verses was 20-something bars. The hook was 16 bars. It was about New York and the Bronx. But I had this thing I used to do in Skate Key in the tunnel. Because, at the time, Brooklyn was popping. Queens was popping. And Harlem and Manhattan was popping. So they'd be in the clubs going, Harlem, Brooklyn, Queensbridge. And I said, when I say, if it wasn't for the Bronx, this rap shit probably never would be going on.
So tell me where you from.
I want all y'all niggas to go uptown, nigga. Uptown, nigga. We get that. And then when we started doing that, it started getting louder and louder. To the point where niggas be like, step outside, step outside. It started getting rowdy. So Tariq said, yo, you remember that shit you used to do in the tunnel? In the key, we used to be like, yo, if it wasn't for the Bronx, let's throw that shit in there after the hook. And we wrote it together because if I say New York niggas got crazy game, Tariq would say, but out of town niggas is all the same. So I write the first part in the melody. Brooklyn niggas get crazy loot. Tariq said if it wasn't beef, they was scared of shit. So when we threw the shit out, to me it was just a local. The niggas in my neighborhood is gonna like it. At best, New York is gonna like it. The end. We split on it, and Tariq said, "Nah, nigga, we going to the Grammys." And I was just thought, you know, it was a joke to me. And then he called me and said, "Yo, shit is flying." And sure enough, we was nominated for a Grammy, won a Billboard award, and all that shit. So it was bittersweet. We had to relinquish a lot of all the publishing to Steely Dan in order to put the record out. So they got credit for writing the record, and that bothered me. You know, you got two old white Jewish men getting credit for writing a street Bronx song.
Anthem.
Crazy. Analyze this. You work with Jay-Z and Nas. How was that whole process?
Tariq did that record.
Okay.
But it was an odd thing. So when I met Shaq, I was coming in as a consultant on the album Make It Rain.
Okay.
So I had caught a gun charge. This is the craziest shit. I caught a gun charge in New York, and I was on probation because it was either go to Rikers Island and do all of my time or come home and on probation. I chose to come home because I feel like I can make something happen. So I get the call. Tariq is working with Shaq. And Shaq he's like, yo, I can't write commercial stuff. You need to come out and help me write with Shaq, you know? So I was like, bet, call my PO. She said, you leave, I'm click-clacking you. I'm locking you up. I said, I ain't going nowhere. I flew out there anyway. Get out there. They working on Make It Rain. And Shaq got a revolving door of everybody I love. Mobb Deep, Nas, Biggie. You name it, man. You name it. Big Pun, Fat Joe. Anybody Shaq said he wanted to work with, he would work with. Then Rakim came in the door. So Shaq said, yo, because things was going so good with me and Shaq, he said, I'm going to sign you to my label. Which one of these records you want to get on? I was like, I want to get on a joint with Rakim. That's my childhood idol. And he was like, yo, Rakim said he don't want nobody on the song but me and him. So I had to respect that. I was nobody. Shout out to Eric B and Rakim, you know, two of my brothers right now. So Tariq picked to get on the record with Nas. I didn't think that would happen. So they put Tariq on the record with Nas and Shaq and Nas, Shaq, and Tariq. Last minute, they wouldn't clear Nas for the record. So they sent it to Jay-Z. Jay-Z jumped on it. So they cleared Jay-Z. So it was really Shaq, Jay-Z, and Nas. But because they had that verse, still had the verse Nas laid, they just put the record out with they just put a version out with all of them on it. But it's really Jay-Z, Nas, and Shaq. But I remember in the studio when Nas said a line, I chopped the live crop. I caught a live crop, chopped it up and hit the block off with Gators. And I remember like, God damn, that was witty and special. I copped the live crop, chopped it up and hit my block off with Gators. And I said, yo, Lord, you got to get in there and get busy. That nigga said that shit. I was like, whoa. Because Tariq is such a special lyricist that I wouldn't, I don't, Tariq could get in the booth with anybody to me. Sort of like my son Corey. Like I feel like they could get in the booth with. I feel like it's a chance where they'd be like, why was Peter Gunz on that record? Even though I'm confident lyrically, but I feel more confident with my son in the booth with anybody and Tariq in the booth with anybody. But I know people will question me or whatever. But I felt that was the perfect record for Tariq to get on.
Did you ghostwrite for anybody?
Yeah, but I wouldn't, like it's certain. I wouldn't throw that out there, but yeah, I've ghostwritten a lot for a few people, man. Yeah.
All right, so I'll put it to you like this, without naming any names. How common is it in the industry for some of the top rappers to have ghostwriters?
It's not that common. Not rappers.
Word.
It's not as common as people think. But here's the deal. This is what I feel. It's just the nature of the culture. That's how it is. I understand that, but it's a shame that you can get an asterisk on your name for having somebody write. Now, I've never had anybody write for me. In fact, when I'm writing to a beat, I don't even like nobody to come next to me with their ideas. You know what I mean? Because I don't want you to fuck up with what I might have. Like if I'm writing a song and somebody come humming a melody, it messes up my whole thing. I don't bring too many creative people around me when I'm doing stuff, because you can't, as a creative, you can't help but, yo, this is what I'm hearing to this. You can't help it. It just reeks out of you. So I don't even like that. But if you send me a beat with a hook already on it, I'll give you an example. The singer Dream, right? Dream writes songs. He don't write really. He hums a lot of melodies, and that's the way he writes. So I remember being in the Def Jam with him one day, and he said, "Yo, I got something for your son," and just hum the melody and tell him to run. Yo, put that to the beat and run with it. So when he writes songs for people, he just hum melodies sometimes, and they put the lyrics in.
That's dope.
So I think if I collaborated with somebody and we were sharing ideas back and forth, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I feed off rappers. Like I know if I do a song with my son or do a song with Corey, with Tariq, or anybody else that's nice, I gotta come better, or I feed off whatever they flow. I'm gonna write to that flow, and that happens all the time. And when I'm creating music, because I'm a musician first, I'll put an instrument, a hi-hat, a guitar, or something in there.
We still hear you. We can hear you.
No, we can't.
No, we can't. We can't hear you. I don't know what happened.
Can't hear you, fam.
Yeah, you think
we can't hear you?
Hold on. Make me to stay close by. Yeah, man. So we got technical difficulty. We can't hear you right now, bro. I don't know what happened to the sound. Maybe somebody tried to call him.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, we're in the middle of an interview with Peter Gunz, man. Just stay patient, everybody. He'll be back in 1 second, and we'll continue this interview. But if you're listening, you know what I mean, enjoying it, hit the like button. If you're gonna listen to the podcast, yo, there he is right there. Tell him to call back. Oh, you can text him. All right, cool. Definitely. So yeah, man, definitely. I think he's coming back in 1 second. Hopefully we'll get him back here in 1 second here on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. But yeah, I'm enjoying the show, man. Give a few shout outs to the people that's listening. Yeah, Jamal Palms, I seen Lazy Doorman. Appreciate, you know, the super chat. Angel Howard, my man Doug, Brown Eyed Nurse in here. We're gonna continue this interview. I think he's back right now. Let's see if we can establish good communication. Can you hear us? We can't hear you. Man. Well, he got a call, bro. I don't know why he's texting people, bro. You gotta call him. Like, we can't hear you. Still no sound. Still no sound, bro.
It's coming back in the building. We'll get this straightened out for the people out there right now. But hopefully you guys have been enjoying the content right now. As we sit here, I'm gonna run through some comments real quick on the Uncensored Truth podcast and the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. See what we got in the building right now. Alonzo Bell, is in the building. Angel Howard's in the building. Salute to you. Cocoa Butter Barbie, what's good with you? Seem like we're establishing some communication right now.
Still no sound from him. Tell him to unmute his mic if possible. Yeah, there's still no sound. That's weird. But nevertheless, we in here. You know what I mean? Tonight, the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast, doing this joint live.
Yeah,
Stick
man.
with us, people. Bear with us. We could definitely continue this powerful interview. About 20 minutes in, you know, right now. Unfortunate that this stuff happens, but you can't control it, man. We're just here to do the interview. And, you know, nevertheless, man, it's still going to be powerful. We got a lot of good questions to go.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Definitely.
We doing our thing in here, man. Like, hey, this is COVID-19. This is what we dealing with right now in the building, but everything will work itself out. Y'all keep hitting that like button, share, tell a friend that the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast is live in the building with Peter Gunz right now.
Yes, sir.
I'll get the brother back on momentarily.
All right, I think he's coming back. Let's see if we can.
All right, let's see if we can get communication.
All right, I think
Yo,
we good
We're
now.
good.
We good.
I thought they cut me off for cursing. I was cursing a little bit.
Nah, do your thing, man. We good on here.
Yeah, you straight.
Some wild shit, but
Every time somebody calls me, it fucks with the audio.
Nah, we appreciate your patience, man, and sticking with us, man. Thank you for a powerful interview thus far. I forgot what we were going into. Oh God, didn't you ask a question?
No, you did. I think you asked a question.
I don't even remember what we were talking about, man. But let's go. You know what I wanted to ask you about the tunnel. You talked about the tunnel. Give me your most legendary story from that nightclub, because we've heard story on story. But what's your most legendary story from the tunnel?
I had a dark experience in the tunnel one time. Tariq comes from a neighborhood in Soundview, right? And they have a crew in Soundview called Sex Money Murder. It's a blood set.
Mm-hmm.
So they would go everywhere we would go. They'd be deep. Sex Money Murder be deep. We came up with Pistol Pete. It's people was really, really optimistic about signing us and booking us or having us come to radio stations because they were scared of the machine behind us. So one time we went to the tunnel, and Fat Joe and Big Pun came to perform with us. It was our album release party. And one of the Bloods, who his name is Scruff, who is Puerto Rican himself, by the way, he came backstage and was just saying something that was really derogatory towards Puerto Ricans, which was bugged out because he's Puerto Rican. And Fat Joe and Big Pun jumped on him. So it was really hectic. They jumped up on him. It was really hectic. So now you got the Bloods outside, and then you got Joe with 100 dudes outside, plus his entourage and trucks. Then you got the Bloods out on inside the tunnel from Soundview, ready to just collide. Dead in the middle of us performing for our album release party. It was the craziest tunnel experience I ever felt. Because, at the end of the day, Pun and Joe was like, they family. And then Tariq came up with the dudes on this side. So it was a dark, dark time. So my memories of the tunnel was always dark shit. Like, even if we went just to hang out, somebody got cut, got jumped. But being from the Bronx, I was always proud because we were the minorities inside the tunnel. So it would always be heavy Brooklyn, Queens, mostly heavy Brooklyn, Queens. So when they say it's the Bronx in the house, it'd only be about 30, 20 of us, but we would proudly, we here. And to me, I was always proud of that, because that's the time to tuck your tail in and be like, yeah, I'm from Brooklyn. You know what I mean? Nobody ever did that. Not in my squad.
So
Tunnel was instrumental in grimy shit, and it just reeked of it's something that you'll never be able to recreate. Certain things you'll never be able to recreate, and the tunnel was one of those. Because tunnel inspired you to go home and write some shit. That's what people leave out. It inspired. When I left the tunnel, I was like, I wanted to hear my joint ring off in the tunnel. And Deja Vu wasn't it. I was like, that ain't a tunnel record.
What's a tunnel record?
Flex didn't like it. Flex didn't like Deja Vu. He grew to like it. Big Cap, shout out to Big Cap. Big Cap was like, yo, you losing your mind. Big Cap said, watch what happened when I drop these horns. And he put the horns on and the crowd went crazy. And then Flex understood. But Flex didn't like the record at first.
Is there any truth that Diddy or Puffy back then tried to stop that? Excuse me, that was my fault.
Well, the Locks. Shout out to the Locks, my brothers, man. The Locks had a joint to Deja Vu.
Right.
If you want it, you can get it. Which Puff was like, wait, we got a record to that. We clearing it. We already talked this, Steely Dan was already clearing that record for Puff, is why they stuck us up. So so Puff had the power to go. People underestimate the power. I'm saying he still got power, but at that time, he had the power to go, yo, don't play that shit. Don't play that. But he didn't. He still invited us to perform. At first, to me, he was a little like, oh, these niggas took my shit. You know what I mean? But then he got with the program, and it was just inviting. I saw Puff recently, man. He showed me so much love. So shout out to Diddy.
That's what's up. I think this is your manager. Kenny's in the building as well. I just added him on the stream.
What up, man? Ken is on board. Ken is making a lot of things happen.
Salute to you, brother.
Debate Mac. We moving. We moving. Ken was the one that made a lot of phone calls that's changing the demographic of my bank account right now.
Hey, man, can't be mad at that. I know before we got cut off, we were talking about ghostwriting, and you were giving us an example. I don't know if you remember that example that you were about to throw us, but that would be dope.
I think
you got cut off again. Somebody don't want us to hear that story about the ghostwriting.
They back.
Somebody just called me.
Every time I hear that ghostwriting,
can hear me, put a thumbs up. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'll tell the story, then I'll come back on so I can hear y'all. I think that if you're in the studio and y'all all coming up with something, right? You coming up with something with somebody, and even if it's a few lines, y'all feed each other. I think it's terrible that you get an asterisk next to your name for somebody. So an artist I'm writing with gets mad at me and says, "Yo, you know the line where Peter said this and that? I wrote that." So now I go down as somebody's writing for me. I think that's terrible. Because if you look at it, some of the biggest hit records out of some of the R&B and different artists that we love are written by different people. Without other people writing, Gamble and Huff and Babyface and I mean, that's just the name of Quincy Jones, just to name a few. We wouldn't have half the Berry Gordy, we wouldn't have half the material that we have. Now, I know hip hop has a different standard. But, so, example is Drake. So I don't know what dude's name is that came and said he wrote for Drake and everybody just turned on Drake. Drake got people writing for him.
Quint Miller.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you stick, since dude said that, Drake been in the room by himself writing all his, writing stuff, and it's still coming out with smashes. So it's to me, it's fucked up to put an asterisk on Drake's name because he has somebody writing with him when he still could do those records without dude, and where's dude without him? Like one time Timberland and Dr. Dre was shitting on Jermaine Dupri. And Jermaine Dupri said, put Timberland in the studio by himself, put Dre in the studio by himself, put me in the studio by myself, and see who comes out with a full song, written, arranged, and produced. And that made me throw up an eyebrow because I'm a big fan of Timberland and Dre, but I never looked at Jermaine Dupri as the complete writer, producer, and everything until he said that. He said, put us all in the studio next to each other, with just the keyboards, the instruments, and the mic up, and see who comes out with a full song by themselves. So that was something that made me raise an eyebrow. But I just think that it's okay to collaborate. You know what I mean? I haven't done it. I'm from the old school. You know what I mean? But I haven't done it. But I think it's okay to collaborate. I don't think that I could respect you all the way if everything you write, everything you spit is written from somebody else. I can't respect that. But if y'all collaborating and writing it together and coming up with something together, I can't be mad at that. But I do believe that I think that's over. I think people are overdoing it with that in hip hop standards. You got to write 100% of everything by yourself, or you're not. I don't agree with that. I think you can get in a room with some other people and feed off them. Because if you want me to believe that Wu-Tang ain't feed off each other, I'm not saying they wrote for each other, but if y'all you think that Raekwon and Method Man and it wasn't in competition in some sort of way that stepped them up, I don't know. It's hard, it'd be hard fest for me to believe. But I'm gonna come back in because I can't hear y'all.
Cool. Definitely. But again, powerful interview thus far, man. About 30 minutes in today. If you're listening to the podcast, on YouTube, smash the like button and make sure you share this. If you're listening on the podcast, hit that 5-star rating right now, man. This is a powerful interview.
Yeah, man. We've been having them all week. Shout out to our publicist, Vic, the publicist. We have Peter Gunz, publicist, in the building right now. Hey, man, the brother that hit you up was 21 years old. We just got him in the college. Salute to you. Yeah, we was just buying some time, man. You got back on. Yep, you good? Can you hear us?
Yeah, no, that's my manager. That's not my publicist.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Well, we got the publicist in there doing work for us, man. But
okay.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, kind of getting out of rap for a second. I want to say over a year ago, situation where I forgot his name. YBN Almighty. Yeah. Got his chain snatched. We did a segment on the podcast about it. We had Hocus 4/5 in the building not too long ago. The gentleman who got the chain back for Jay Prince. Not to try to bring up any old wounds or anything. I'm sure you and Jay Prince are cool now, but you had criticism as an OG to how he approached that. We did a story on it, like I said. Just talk about the internet, how this shit is just kind of different now, and just elaborate on that. How you felt about that, if you don't mind.
That's another asterisk on my name that I wish I could. That's something I wish I could take back, because for me to answer him on or say that to him on Instagram, even though I sent him a DM first, call me before I said anything on before I said anything publicly. I sent him a DM to call me because I wanted to tell, because I got a tremendous amount of respect for Jay Prince. Not on no scared shit. I'm from the Bronx. I ain't scared of nobody. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. That's just what I'm cut from. I promise you that. I'm not trying to say I'm some killer or I can't get it. It's just being a man. I don't consider myself a thug. I'm just a man.
Right.
So it wasn't none of that. It was more. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Jay Prince. I even bought Jay Prince's book because he's one of those dudes that's not loud. He does what he does under the radar. Even I felt like if I had went to Houston and something happened and I called Jay Prince and I say, yo, look, man, this is what's going on. I feel like he'll settle it and he wouldn't even go back and say, yo, when Peter Gunz was in Houston, I'm the one that saved him from, you know what I mean? I know that he did that for people. So I was a little disappointed when I heard him, when he went online and said this one and this one and that one, fix this. And when he put my son's name in it, see, so the difference, this is why I got offended a little bit by it, because everybody he named in that situation to go talk to those dudes, Hocus didn't live in New York no more. Hocus bought a house down south. Pimp, Remy and Pap don't live in the Bronx no more. They doing some other shit. They doing well for themselves. Fat Joe don't live there no more. Cardi ain't there no more. You know who lived 3-4 blocks away from the dudes he was talking about? My son.
Wow.
My mother. So if one of them has said, fuck you naming them niggas for, they ain't gonna do shit. They can't do nothing. Now they put me in a position where my son ain't gonna take that too lightly, and he gotta go down the street and we gotta call it. We gotta, because we still in that neighborhood like that. So that's why I was like, yo, homie, don't throw our names in there, because it's a good opportunity for somebody trying to get their name up and be like, fuck Corey, fuck Peter, they can't get nothing back. You know what I mean? But not that would happen. You know what I mean? Shout out to KT and all the other brothers that went and made that happen. I'm glad it was resolved in a diplomatic way, because it could have went left. But I was just trying to tell him, like, yo, I can't speak for nobody else, but we still in that neighborhood, brother. Don't, you know what I mean? Like a phone call, maybe I could make a phone call, but I don't want to get in the middle of that. I don't even, to be honest with you, I don't know what none of that's about. I don't know what none of these new young dudes is. I don't even know who they are. I just saw my son's name on that, and it was dangerous because Jackson Avenue is literally 2 train stops or 3 train stops from where I'm from.
Have you guys spoke since you and Jay Prince? Has anything been pieced up behind the scenes?
We ain't speak then, and we ain't speak since. But he spoke to KT, Crocodile Hunter, who's like a brother to me, and Hocus 4/5. They figured it out, and that's enough for me. I mean, one day I'll see Jay Prince and we'll talk. You know what I mean? Again, I want to pick Jay Prince's mind about business and some other things. This right here was just a misunderstanding. He said, he was like, I'm new to this Instagram shit. I'm not with all. I just was upset. Somebody stole my youngin' chain. It was in the Bronx. I know a lot of people there, and I'm new to the way he talked to KT and them about it was just like, yo, man, I'm new to this Instagram shit. Like, I'm not even with the Instagram thing. So listen, we all, even as, come on, man, I've done so much. I can't, I regret, again, going on Instagram saying something. I regret that. That's something that I could handle behind the scenes as well.
I could dig it.
Yeah, no doubt. I want to kind of go back just a little bit and talk about, the state of hip hop now, but go all the way back into when like the South started taking over. In your opinion, why do you think that New York lost control of hip hop, or if you even believe that? Could you speak on that whole transition, if you may?
Yeah, I don't know. We never lost control of hip hop. Hip hop is forever to New York. We lost control of rap.
Okay.
But I saw it, man. Look, I got 2 kids in New Orleans, 2 daughters. My ex is from New Orleans. She went to law school there, LSU. So point of the matter is, me and Tariq was on tour, And I remember we had to hit record because the transformation, I don't know if y'all paying attention, came around that time when me and Tariq and we was coming out.
Yep.
And I remember we got to New Orleans in 97 or something like that. And they came to us. We had the #1 rap record in the country. And they came to us in New Orleans and said, yo, you guys going after Master P. And I remember, what the fuck y'all mean we going on after Master P? We got the #1 record in the country. And when that man went on stage, I fully understood what they meant. It was like Michael Jackson entered the stage and he was doing some raps that I thought, keeping it 100, I thought the shit was whack or corny, but nobody else did. They was going ballistic. Make them say, And then he had he also had the Ice Cream Man thing. And I totally understood that there was something taking place that was different from Outkast or anything. This shit sounded like country ABC rap. And I was like, and I said, we in trouble. I felt the temperature changing for hip hop right then and there. And then I was hanging out in New Orleans and I got cool with some dudes, my man Prime and a few other dudes, and they bought me this white windbreaker and it had Cash Money Records on the back. I said, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I'm rolling around with these dudes in New Orleans with a Cash. They was the underdogs to No Limit. And I like the underdogs. So I'm gonna mess with the underdogs. And they had just got like 30 million from Universal and all of it, most of their royalties and publishing. And I thought that was amazing. And I saw the beginning of that. And so I saw the temperature change. And then where I was wrong at, I was like, all right, this will be a couple years. This should go back to New York. It ain't been back since.
You think Fat Joe?
I feel like New Yorkers is trying to sound like a lot of, not everybody, but a lot of music out of New York. They're trying to sound like they from the South. I don't mind you rapping over with trap beat with your New York dialect, but when I hear you rapping and trying to sound like you from Atlanta or New Orleans or some shit, that makes me sick to my stomach.
Would you say that Fat Joe was like one of the first, artists from New York that actually, bridged the gap, that started kind of dealing with those guys? Could you talk about that from the South? Because like again, that whole attitude that you had, you can hear me?
Yeah, hold on, what was it you said? Say it again.
Fat Joe, would you say he was one of the first artists that started to bridge the gap between like New York and the South and working with him? Could you speak on that whole aspect?
I didn't say that.
No,
I don't know that. He might have. That's my man. He might have. I don't know that. I didn't say that. I don't know where.
The reason I'm saying is because the same kind of like flavor that you had about the South, we all kind of felt like that. I felt like that too. Like there's some corny rap, but then people, it's turned to being corny rap. People trying to now sound like these dudes. So what happened to where these New York rappers wanted to start to sound like these Southern rappers, man? And instead,
you want to eat. You want to eat. You want to feed your kids. You want to feed your babies. That's what happened. Nobody, ain't no DJ going to change the format. I tell all the new rappers, I said, listen to, if you're just trying to eat, if you're not trying to change the game, but do something innovative, listen to the radio, hear what the DJ's playing, go in the club, hear what the DJ's playing, make something in that vein. No DJ is going to change the format of what he's playing to play some shit that you did, some boom bap. So if you want to play a boom bap record and out rap somebody, I love it all day. I'm with that. Let's go. If you want to try to be innovative, I'm with that too. But if you're just saying that you want to hit record, make a record in the vein of what the DJ's playing. Go sit in your car, listen to the radio, stop the radio, put your song on, and see if you can hear your song come on in that particular mixed DJ's segment. Or if a stripper's going on the pole, because she go up and down and rock to your song. If you're just trying to eat and you're just trying to go, that's what you got to do. And that's what most of these kids are trying to do, man. They just trying to eat, feed their families, and they not trying to do nothing innovative to change the game. So if you want to just be a rapper's rapper, I give you the best example I could give you. My son. My son rap anybody under the table. To this point, I put my son up against anybody lyrically. But is that what's paying the bills? Is that what's changing his life? Is that what's going to know? But because he's a true artist, I can't change him. I can't say, Corey, look, dumb it down, man. Give him an A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you good. They already know your name. You did 6 for 7. You on Young Money. Dad, I just can't do that. But so that's the scenario I give the up and coming artists. I'm not here to tell you, listen, nigga, fuck that. Change the game and stick to your guns. And people out here just trying to survive and feed their kids. So you listen to the radio and let that listen to the radio and see if your record fit in that format. Because if it don't, then you either got to change the game and be a rebel, or if you just trying to eat and feed your family, you got to fit in. And again, fit in don't mean change your dialect and act like you're from somewhere else. You can rhyme over a trap beat and be from New York. You know what I mean? But that's the problem that I have. I even have, I have a problem with Crips and Bloods in New York trying to sound like they're from LA. Yo, bring the core around. Bring the core. I'm like, man, what the fuck are you talking about?
I gotta ask you this, man. You talk about what I was going to ask you. Talking about how eventually hip hop started getting kind of, I don't want to say watered down, but people were out here trying to survive. Did that ultimately ruin hip hop? And why is it that I feel like hip hop is one of the only genres in music where they ask you to dumb shit down? You don't hear that in pop, you don't hear that in country, but in order to survive, so to speak, as a rapper, you have to dumb it down and give them ABC. Why is that?
Yo, man, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I do feel like if it was a different demographic of people, Jewish or some other shit, rhyming about killing each other and bitch this and bitch that and shake your ass and bust it open and rhyming easy 1, 2, 3 and throwing money and wearing your pants off your ass, I think that shit would have been shut down a long time ago.
Word.
It's only all right for us to continue to do that. You know what I mean? And make it big. Yeah, make it more big. I think that if that was a different demographic and that was the course of where this is what's hot, they would make that not hot. It's people that control that. So if you go to programming directors and DJs, say, if you think Flex wanted to play Yachty and a few other these rappers that's out there, no disrespect to them, they might get mad at me, but I don't give a fuck. I'm just keeping it real. If you think Funk Flex or a lot of other DJs in New York and these different people want to play, they play it because they have to keep their jobs and they have to act like they like it sometimes. So you got to feed your family, you got to feed your kids, you got to pay your condos, you got these houses you bought, you got shit. So you got to get on board with what's going on. And even when you try to bring it back around, you got bosses, Clear Channel and all that shit. So, but I still stick to this. If it was their kids doing this shit in a different demographic doing it, we have the change that we need. Because there was a time where you had to have skills.
Right.
Nas was rhyming about a gun. Remember he rhymed about the gun?
Broke the whole shit.
You had to be clever about what you did. Slick Rick was telling stories. Tupac was the rebel. It was okay to have De La Soul. MC Hammer even, he was the entertainer. We had everybody could eat doing whatever they did. And now all of a sudden, it's the who's the most ignorant. I heard a record today where this chick was like Henny and a morning pill.
Damn.
Who the fuck is that, man, that sing that shit? Henny in the morning after. Henny in a morning pill. Whatever the shit is, and it's flying.
I have no idea who do that shit.
How the fuck is cool to tell a chick to take the she wants some Hennessy and then the pill after in the morning in case she's pregnant. So basically she let a nigga blasting her raw and she want the Henny, the morning pill. Get drunk, fuck, and have the morning. So only for us would that be cool. Name another nationality or race that would accept what's going on in hip hop in their community.
With that being said, I mean, would you say that hip hop has a bigger influence on the next generation than we really think, and that these rappers hold a real big responsibility in the message that they put out? I mean, we went from guys just telling their story to guys. I say this. I say rapper. Hip hop is now strippers and dope fiends now. Could you speak on that whole aspect?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm guilty even on Deja Vu of saying some things that I can't even perform in front of my kids or my sisters now. I'm like, you live and you learn, but you grow. Yeah, I mean, even that part of it. I was looking at somebody's live the other day, one of the hot rappers, I forgot his name. I was looking at Tory Lane's live, and he was like, "What you sipping on, man? You drinking on something, you know, a little Hennessy?" He was like, "Nah, man, I'm sipping lean."
Mm.
And they were like, "Yeah, sip your lean," like it was okay. When you make it cool to pop pills and drink cough syrup, that was never cool to us. We used to laugh at the junkies. We used to be like, "Yo, look at him, he's a junkie, yuck." Now we ain't looking up to the junkies and going, "Yo, could you get me some of that?" And the shit is more addictive than heroin. So, and I got, just so you clear, I got multiple brothers that was on drugs. One still on drugs. I grew up with drug addicts. So to see that is real personal for me. That they think it's cool to promote lean and pill popping. Act like it's cool. Again, no other nationality, the people that run Clear Channel and run all of this shit, no other nationality would stand for their kids promoting drug use and the shit that's going on, man. It's disturbing. But again, somebody gotta change it, man. And I'm, like that's what's hot, and that's what it is, and that's what it's gonna be, and they're gonna run with it, as long as it's not their kids.
I think it's a perfect time to transition to my next question. Media. We talk about media often and how we need to keep media within ourselves, but then you see certain outlets, European outlets that are out here making the most, getting the most pop, your artists and your Hollywood actors or whatever that are in the Black culture are running to these outlets. You hear the culture vulture term thrown out there often. I don't know if you're familiar with it, Dame Dash and Kenyatta Griggs, the culture vulture movement. But then in the same breath, you see a Dame Dash, for example, going for Adam 22 or talking about a Dame. Talk about why you feel as though some rappers, some entertainers in the Black community talk a game about we got to stick with our own, but then still go to one of these other outlets to give them exclusive interviews, to give them the content. Speak on that for me.
I don't know, man. I think sometimes you got to get on a different platform to try to speak to a bigger demographic. Like if you label yourself as the culture vulture movement, you're gonna have that crowd inside your lives, that crowd on your website, that crowd in whatever you're doing. I think that sometimes you gotta get on another platform to speak that. I don't know who's the right person. I don't know if Dame Dash. Listen, I love Dame Dash. I don't think most people. It's unfortunate that most people label him crazy and he's bugged out. He's bitter. I think a lot of things that come out of his mouth. I learned from some of the things he said. He may not say him in the right way. It may come across crazy sometimes, but a lot of things he said, I don't know, man. I don't know I'm not the sharpest. Again, I'm not the sharpest on all subjects. I was telling somebody this yesterday. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but the fact that the coronavirus is eating up poor people and elderly and Black people, to me, that ain't a mistake. The fact that it's about to ravish Africa the way it is not a mistake. But that's not a conspiracy. I'm not a conspiracy guy. It's just facts. We don't, the way it is. When it comes to the culture vulture thing, there's so many white people that played a part, and Puerto Rican people that played a part, and Spanish people in different demographics that played a part in hip hop being where it is. It's hard for me to call everybody a culture vulture. I feel like if not for some white people, we wouldn't be where we are. Even in terms of the civil rights movement, I get in arguments with people. I'm like, yo, a lot of white people were marching with us. So I don't think that it's all the way fair to call everybody a culture vulture. I think a lot of them played. Example, we sold 1 million records, right? 1 million, almost 2 million Uptown Babies. I guarantee they were bought by a different most of our records were bought by a different nationality.
I hear you.
What I mean? So I think that is to call everybody a culture vulture is not fair. They help lift the culture to where it's at. I just hate that they promoting trash. You know
So
what
like,
I mean? It's not even skillful trash. If they had skills and they was rhyming about something and they was bringing in the drugs and the lean, then I could see the argument. But to have garbage, rap garbage, like trash rappers promoting bad shit, and y'all saying that that's cool, I think that's fucked up. But other than that, nah, man, if not for different demographics and different nationalities, hip hop wouldn't be where it is. We couldn't do that by ourselves.
what do you think about a VladTV? He gets a lot of criticism for a lot of the content that he creates. It's often people say it's talking about somebody's past. It's talking about somebody that's doing something behind the scenes, often getting indicted or something crazy like that. We hear the stories. Often
Vlad is my man. Vlad is my man. I did plenty of interviews. He's been fair to me. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's some things that Vlad did so there's some interviews that Vlad do that make me cringe. I won't sit here and act like I don't go. But again, you know what I mean? That's up to us. You know what I mean? And he's grown to a different stage where, it's different people that could be like, yo, homeboy, check this out. But nobody's doing it. But he hasn't ducked the smoke or anybody coming on there calling him out. If I'm not mistaken, I've seen a few people say something to him. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's some things that Vlad do that make me cringe. I think the latest thing that if I could have a word with Vlad, and I sent him a message and he get back to me. What's that artist that's just dissing everybody? Trap or something? What's his name?
Young Chop, something like that.
Yeah, I think Vlad giving him a platform. Vlad is a big platform, so I think him giving him a platform, something's obviously wrong with that dude. Mm-hmm. So you aiding and abetting in him getting his head blown off, or him going to jail, or him killing somebody. Because if you just don't promote what he's saying, because it's just not. He's disrespecting Meek Mill and Drake and Jay-Z and whoever else he's saying. I think something is something's wrong with him. And I think that Vlad promoting him, if Vlad could point out different websites that's promoting him, but I say fuck that. Don't worry about what they're doing. You don't do it. So if I can have a word with Vlad, that's rubbing me the wrong way because something's obviously wrong with that dude.
Definitely can agree. So what's next for you? I think you, if I'm not mistaken, you're done with the Love and Hip Hop.
I'm still doing it.
Okay.
I'm still on that. I'm still on that. I'm about to do that again. All bags matter. I got these babies.
I ain't mad at you. We don't know shit about it. So people were looking for Love and Hip Hop this episode. You got the wrong goddamn. We don't know shit about it.
Again, I'm not proud of some of the things you might see on that either. I don't want to gloat like, oh yeah, I'm getting my money. I'm not proud of some of the things you might have seen on Love and Hip Hop either. You know what I mean? I'm gonna try to do it a little different. I'm trying to go in a different direction. My manager over there, Ken, is looking at me now like, why are you? But no, it's one of those things where it's you got these mouths, you got these kids, so you just try to go in there and show something different, or hopefully people understand that it's real life and things happen. You could fall in love with multiple people at one time. I try not to get on there and be too crazy, but you don't have no control over the editing.
Now you preaching tonight on the podcast, Hip Hop Uncensored podcast in the building with legendary Peter Gunz. Peter Gunz, man, give to the people right now where they can find you, what you got going next. Real excited to have you on the platform, man. What's next for Peter Gunz?
Well, right now I'm shooting cheetahs out here in Dallas. I'm in Dallas shooting cheetahs, so tune into that this fall. That's my main thing. I'm having fun with this because I'm a cheetah, so I know how to catch a cheetah, and I know how to tell them to do the right thing. Get your shit together.
Live your truth, my nigga.
I'm doing Love and Hip Hop, and I also landed a film, but I don't know if I could talk about that yet. Ken?
Hold on.
We can't hear him.
Not on.
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Can I talk about the film yet or no?
You say you good?
Thumbs up.
Oh yeah, so I'm shooting this film called Asbury Park in Detroit this summer. So look for Asbury Park. It should be good.
Out of Jersey?
More, I don't know. Well, it's out of Jersey, but we're shooting somewhere else. So I'm doing that. Wow. And we got a few other things going on. We got Rip the Beat. It's a competition show for rappers, real rappers. Again, Don't come in there with that lean pill popping. You know what I mean? You can, but good luck.
Word.
We're doing Rip the Beat, and we also have this stage play that we do called Flow that my manager wrote. It's incredible. It's Flow in the Church. It's about a kid struggling between the streets and church. His mom is a pastor, and she don't want to rap in this street stuff. And I'm trying to convince him to come to the streets. Nobody only had church rap, and it's awesome. So when it comes to your town, come see us. So I'm gonna be on stage.
Okay.
Which is you know, when that's how we met. Ken Hamilton debut management, and he was looking to cast somebody for the show, and I went and casted for the show. He booked me for the part of Trent, big part, by the way. And I grew to love acting on stage, man. Something in the character so close to who I am. And I was like, this is easy.
Dope.
So look for that in the town near you, and a bunch of other stuff. But that's the stuff that's going on right now.
Hey man,
he wrote, produced it. So shout out to Kim.
Dope, man. We definitely appreciate you. I don't know if you have any other questions.
I'm sweet.
All right, we're good, man.
Peter Gunz 174 Instagram. That's where you can find me.
Say that one more time for the people.
Peter Gunz 174 Instagram.
You got like 1 billion followers. I'm sure they're all following your ass anyway. Y'all can follow us on Viral Hip Hop News and Hip Hop News Uncensored while you're in the building. But now, man, we appreciate having you on. If you're in the Atlantic City area, ever in New Jersey, please hit us up. We got a building out here, man. We'd love to have you in here. Peter Gunz, salute to you, man. Bless
I'm definitely there. Definitely.
Appreciate you.
Shout out to my man Rodney Jerkins and the crew out there, Dog Child.
Jersey.
Yeah.
Blessings, brother.
All day. All right, brothers. Appreciate y'all, man. Peace, brother.
Peace.
So yeah, another powerful one, man. Vic the intern getting them in here tonight, man.
Yeah, man. We deal with them. You know what? And it's crazy. We deal with technical difficulties, got things going on, but nonetheless, we always make it happen, get through it. Shout out to all the guests we had in the building. I said this the last couple of days, but I gotta say it again, man. I can't be cliche on this one. I think this is one of my favorite fucking interviews, man. Peter Gunz was giving us gold. Definitely appreciated him, man. Got an interview tomorrow. But yeah, man, I'm real happy about it.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna give a shout out to the people. My man Doug locking it down.
Yeah, man.
You know, Bobby, Jermaine, Mary, I think your name is. Stay Focused, Envy, Twisted Productions, Destiny, everybody that rocked out with us tonight here on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. Streaming this joint live for y'all. Special treat for you guys tonight. Every Friday, hopefully, we'll be able to bring you guys, you know, somebody. And get them in here and get them in front of you, man. That's our duty to you, especially going through this whole, you know, virus thing. And we're going to get you out of this thing and through this thing. We'll be here, you know, for the foreseeable future doing the damn thing, man.
Hey, man, if you are a subscriber to the podcast, or if you're not a subscriber to the podcast, make sure you subscribe to all 3 platforms: Viral Hip Hop News Uncensored, the Uncensored Truth Podcast official channel. We will have some special offers and some special news going on.
Let's drop it.
If you want to promote,
let's drop it.
Hey, man, we got a quarantine special, man. Go and talk about it.
We got a quarantine special right now. If you're an artist, you're a producer right now, hit us up if you want to get your artist on this platform. The special is you get 2 songs uploaded on 2 platforms: Hip Hop News Uncensored and Viral Hip Hop News, and a 20-minute interview with us. Well, I'm not going to tell you guys the price you got to call for, but during this weekend, we're giving you 50% off. So Monday at 6 a.m., the offer's done. You got to hit us up this weekend. We'll give you 50% off of the asking price for it. Hit me up at ogod at hiphopun.com and Sam Ant. No, what is it? DLS Media 1?
Yep.
All right, Sam Ant at Tim Ant at DLS Media Inc. #1. Hit us up right now, man. If you have trouble with those emails, look in the description box. They're both there. And yeah, don't miss this offer, man, because we want to help people out. We understand times is hard, but stuff got to go on, bro.
And shout out to Young Nice. Shout out to Jay Mazentov, who we've had the pleasure of meeting and having on. We have Jay Mazentov tomorrow on the podcast out of Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Looking forward to that interview. And Young Nice is doing the damn thing, man. Follow that young brother, Young_Nice. If you don't, on Instagram, Philly rapper. It's a real talented brother. I'm glad we got the meeting. We're going to do some more business. He'll be in the building. We got another single dropping. He has a single dropping on Gilly's mixtape, April 28th. Check out that, as well as his video exclusively on Viral Hip Hop News and Hip Hop News Uncensored. We got a super chat in the building. Shout out to Nate P. Salute to you, man. Appreciate the loves. Appreciate the support. Oh God, I don't know if we got much more, man. We about to chill out. We got some new goodies in the building. You know what I mean? Shout out to the sponsors. So we're gonna go relax on some Tahoe OG.
Yeah,
and some
man.
Zach's pie real quick.
Yeah, and just, just relax tonight, man. And back to work tomorrow, man. We knocking out 7 days a week up in this mug, man. And like I said, man, we got our intern, man, is hitting so many people up right now. So you never know who you're going to see in here. So make sure you subscribe to all 3 channels and hit the notification bell and select the option that says get all notifications, because you're going to want to be in the know when we drop a new video. That's all I got tonight, Sam, man.
That's all I got too, man. Salute to everyone who's watching and subscribing. Go ahead and make sure, if you're not subscribed to the audio version of the podcast, you go to your iPhones, your Samsungs, whatever kind of phone or device you have, go to that podcast app and subscribe to the Hip Hop Uncensored Podcast, the only place you can get exclusive, raw, real, uncut content from the Hip Hop Uncensored Podcast, doing big things over there. Appreciate each and every one of y'all support, man. Until tomorrow, it's the Sandman, viral hip hop news. Oh God, hip hop news uncensored. Together we are the Hip Hop Uncensored Podcast. Salute to our guests in the building, Corey Gunz. Over and out.
Peace.